The night does not approach as a simple curtain of darkness. It arrives with intent, humming with a force that the ordinary eye cannot recognize. The world, dazzled by anticipation, looks skyward. Social feeds burst with excitement, voices swell with eagerness, and plans are made to gather beneath the heavens. For them, tonight is entertainment, a celestial festival written across the firmament. But for you, the chosen, the night hums differently. What others call beauty, you feel as weight. What they name wonder, you taste as warning. While crowds prepare their cameras and laughter, you feel the silent pull inward, as though some hidden voice reminds you that crossing the threshold of your door tonight could unravel more than you imagine. They call it the moon drop, this shower of light that spills across the heavens. Meteor trails glitter as if the sky itself were weeping sparks. Yet these sparks do not arrive empty. They carry currents untouched by Earth, energies sharp and alien, slicing through the veil of our atmosphere like blades from beyond. To most, the streaks are only stars burning away, but you sense the truth. They are intruders, arrivals from a distance that does not belong here. And when what is foreign falls into our skies, it does not slip by unnoticed. It alters, disturbs, or reshapes. The crowd may gasp in awe, but you feel the pressure as though it presses directly into your bones, as if your very cells are being tuned to a frequency not of this world. Even as this celestial spectacle gathers strength, a deeper twist hides within the night. Mercury, messenger of the mind, slips into Virgo, and in that instant the heavens sharpen. Thoughts no longer drift. They slice. Truths once ignored now scream. For the common soul, this is but another astrological whisper, but for you, it is gasoline poured into a storm already raging. Two forces colliding, striking sparks not only across the sky, but within the fragile corridors of your own awareness. Outside, the meteors burn. Inside, the mind churns. And if you dare step into the open, you stand directly beneath the clash, where silence cannot protect you, where the stillness of survival dissolves into chaos. Yet you already know why the call of solitude is strong. While the many chase spectacle, you are pressed to remain in shelter. Walls become shields. Silence becomes your companion. Stillness your survival. For the chosen, this night was never designed to be simple or safe. It is an initiation, a threshold, a fiery veil between endings and beginnings. What the world sees as fleeting beauty, you must meet as trial, and it begins not out there, but here, in the knowing that your path will not be walked with the crowd, but against its current. And so the night builds, not quietly, but with a steady, almost imperceptible pressure that swells beneath the surface of your skin. What began as a sky filled with falling embers now deepens into something heavier. You can feel it in the air, thicker, charged, like unseen static grazing the edges of your nerves. The crowd outside cheers as meteors tear through the heavens, their laughter blending with the hum of excitement. But inside, a different awareness stirs. Every streak of fire feels less like a celebration and more like a signal, each flare announcing that something is shifting, not above you, but within you. The chosen ones cannot mistake it. While others see light dissolving in the dark, you feel currents weaving through the unseen layers of existence. The mind strains against the flood of signals, every thought sharpened, every doubt amplified. It is as though the night itself is testing the limits of your stillness, urging you to step outside, to join the spectacle, to dissolve into the crowd. Yet deep inside, you know, such a choice would scatter you, unravel you, leave you fractured. This is not a storm to walk beneath. It is a storm to endure from within. And just when the pressure feels like it could not grow heavier, the deeper truth surfaces. September is not an accident. The moon drop chooses the threshold of this month for a reason. This is the season of turning tides, where the restless fragments of summer collapse into the quiet rigor of autumn. The meteors mirror this passage. Each burning trail above is a reflection of what within you must fall away. Old patterns, tired attachments, the fragments of who you once were. They ignite so that you may release. They vanish so that something greater may take root. Yet in the release lies the trial. Will you cling to the fragments as they burn, or allow them to scatter and clear the sky of your spirit? The tension now is no longer only in the heavens. It is alive in the decision your soul must make. The choice hangs in the air, heavy as the charged silence before a storm breaks. And then it happens. The night shifts. What was once a steady hum transforms into a piercing crescendo. The meteors fall faster, brighter, tearing across the sky as if the heavens themselves are being ripped open. For those who stand outside, it is thrilling, dazzling. But for you, safe within your walls, the shift feels like a blade drawn across the invisible fabric of reality. The world outside may call it beautiful, but you know better. This is the strike of the match, the ignition point, where cosmic forces converge with relentless clarity. Mercury's sharp descent into Virgo cuts through the air like fire finding dry wood. Thoughts no longer drift, they demand to be faced. Buried truths surface with unshakable force, rising like echoes that refuse to be ignored. The very air presses against your mind, urging clarity, slicing away illusions, and the meteors above, foreign fragments entering Earth's embrace, collide with this sharpened mental storm. Two currents, both fierce, both unrelenting, now crash into one another. The result is not chaos alone, it is revelation. Though it may arrive cloaked in disorientation, time itself begins to warp under the pressure. Minutes stretch, twist, collapse into moments that feel unmoored. Some chosen ones describe it as dizziness, a lurching sensation as though the ground beneath their feet has grown unsteady. Others sense static, faint sparks crawling across their skin, an electric reminder that the body cannot lie. The body knows when the spirit is under siege, and yet this breaking point is no accident. The storm was always meant to crescendo. The sky is not only scattering fire, it is scattering you, daring you to decide whether to fracture beneath its weight or to find stillness strong enough to endure. This is the turning point, the moment when the spectacle outside is no longer entertainment, but initiation. The crescendo does not pass quickly. Instead, it lingers, stretching into an unnerving stillness that vibrates with hidden weight. What began as spectacle has become confrontation. The meteors above seem endless, falling in silver arcs, but their true impact is not in the sky. It is within the chosen. The air presses down, thick with foreign frequencies, and your thoughts feel louder, sharper, restless. It is as though the night itself has stepped inside you, stirring currents you would rather keep silent. This is the deep struggle, the trial where endurance is no longer physical but spiritual. Dizziness creeps in waves, pulling some toward the edge of disorientation. For others, the storm manifests as a ringing in the ears, a pulse behind the eyes, or the weight of irritation that grows without cause. Even in solitude, you sense the world tugging at your balance, urging you to scatter. The restless pacing of the crowd outside echoes faintly, tempting you to join them. But you know, this temptation is the very test. To step outside now would be to let the storm claim you, to dissolve your clarity in exchange for spectacle. Inside, The battle intensifies. Memories surface like sparks. Old wounds flare open and unspoken fears rise with relentless persistence. It feels as though your very timeline is unraveling before you. Past, present, and possibility colliding in the storm's mirror. And yet, hidden beneath the discomfort, lies a strange clarity. This unraveling is not destruction. It is refinement. The fragments that ache within you are the same fragments the meteors symbolize. Old identities, expired patterns, the debris of who you can no longer remain. The deep struggle, then, is not about fighting the storm, but allowing its fire to burn away what no longer serves you. Stillness becomes the hardest choice, but also the only path to transformation. The night is relentless, yes, but so is the soul that refuses to scatter. And then, as if the storm itself has exhausted its fury, the intensity begins to soften. The meteors still fall, but their blaze feels quieter now, less like an assault and more like a lingering whisper. The heavy air lightens, and though the echoes of the struggle remain, a shift takes place within you. The pressure that once threatened to scatter your spirit now feels as though it has carved space, hollowing out what no longer belongs so that something new may take root. The struggle was never punishment. It was preparation. The stillness you fought to hold becomes your shield and your gift. While others outside stagger back to their homes, drained and restless, you remain centered. The walls that sheltered you have not only guarded your body, but amplified your spirit. What felt like chaos outside has been transmuted into clarity within. The storm has not broken you, it has refined you, and in that quiet victory lies the hidden paradox. By turning away from the spectacle, you have inherited the substance. Dawn arrives not as a routine sunrise, but as revelation. The colors sharpen, the air carries a strange purity, and the ordinary world feels almost translucent, as if reality itself has been washed clean. Subtle signs ripple through the morning, numbers aligning on clocks, synchronicities weaving through chance encounters, whispers of the universe confirming that you chose correctly. What others dismiss as coincidence, you recognize as confirmation. The night's trial has given you more than a memory. It has given you alignment. This is the secret the moondrop carries for the chosen. The meteors outside are fleeting, but the fire kindled within endures. While many chased sparks that burned out in seconds, you have awakened carrying embers that will fuel days, weeks, perhaps even lifetimes. The resolution of the night is not in what you witnessed, but in what you became. And when the sky finally clears, only one question remains. Who are you now that the fire has passed through you?